Hey everyone, welcome, I'm MisterBo, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new exotic machine gun, the Nemesis Star. Now this weapon can be acquired through Exotic Engram drops and is a solar type weapon. The flavor text here reads, "What is the answer when the question is extinction?" Taking a look at this gun, we can see the exotic perk here is Extinction Cycle. On trigger pull, this weapon's initial burst has a high rate of fire. This is then complemented by its second perk, Strange Gravity. When holding down the trigger, range and accuracy increase as rate of fire decrease. Kills grant bonus grenade energy. So straight away this weapon has two ways you can use it. You can either spam the trigger and get those quick bursts of fire against maybe smaller type enemies or guardians in the crucible, or you can then hold the trigger down and get a more slow rate of fire LMG, but also packing a punch with your shots. Of course those kills will get you your grenade energy, which can be extremely useful in certain situations in perhaps PvE and even PvP. Taking a look at the other perks here, we have Accurized Ballistic, more range and impact, increased recoil, Field Choke, more range and impact, increased recoil, Linear Compensator, more predictable recoil, slight boost to range and impact, more recoil. We then have Spray and Play, increases the reload speed of this weapon when its mag is empty. Perfect Balance, this weapon has extremely low recoil. Field Scout, increases carried ammo capacity. Flared Magwell, reload this weapon even faster. The Nemesis Star also comes with two ornaments, the first one being Meteorite, a red skin for this weapon, and then the second one being Silver Bullet, which gives you a more war-torn looking Nemesis Star. So let's start off with the ballistics and look at which one you want to be using. So on screen at the moment you can see on the left Accurized Ballistics in action, Field Choke in action in the middle, and then on the right you can see Linear Compensator. So as you can see, Accurized Ballistics is all over the place with the kickback being pretty crazy. In the middle we can see Field Choke where the recoil is more in a sort of rounded area, a little bit more predictable to control, and then finally Linear Compensator where it does have less recoil than Accurized Ballistics, and it is also in a straight line, meaning you could control this by shooting maybe someone in the body and then that would eventually kick back and get them in the head. For me personally here I would go for Field Choke, as it means you don't really have to worry about the recoil on your gun, you can just aim forwards and shoot. In the next row of perks I would then go for Perfect Balance, which will just help with that recoil. Of course you could use Field Scout if you do want some more ammo. And then here on screen you can see Flared Magwell. On the left is without Flared Magwell and on the right is with Flared Magwell. You can see the reload difference. Of course we have Spray and Play on this gun, so when the mag is empty it's going to reload quicker anyway, so that is why I'm going for Perfect Balance, because I don't really need to worry about the reload speed that much if I am emptying the full magazine. So now that we've taken a look at the perks on this weapon, let's take a look at what this weapon is like in action in both PvE and PvP. Now while heavy machine guns aren't really that common in game at the moment, more people seem to like to use swords or even rocket launchers, especially in PvP. This weapon I feel does have a space, and that is due to the two perks that it has. You can basically use this gun how you want. If you're up against some smaller type enemies, you can just spam the trigger, getting the effect of Extinction Cycle with the initial burst having a higher rate of fire. You can then start to hold down the trigger when you get to some harder enemies to get that more impact, as well as if they are further away, you can get that extra range. And of course every time you get a kill, that is going to be increasing the recharge of your grenades, which can come in very handy. So while there are better options in the form of some of the swords like the Raise Lighter and the new Young Wolf's Howl, as well as rocket launchers like the new Galahorn, I do still feel that this gun can be very useful, however it might not be your first choice. Now taking this gun into PvP, again somewhere where heavy machine guns aren't very common, if you're going into PvP and you want to fill your heavy slot with an exotic, then you're probably going to be going for the Truth, and that probably isn't going to change. However, again like in PvE, this weapon can come in very handy and can take down enemies fairly quickly. I took it into a game of Supremacy, and in some close quarters combat, this weapon took down enemies before they could even really get a chance to shoot me. The initial burst of fire is very good for taking people by surprise, and then Strange Gravity allows you to narrow down on your enemy if they're a little bit further away and pick them off. In most one-on-one fights you will definitely win with this, just as long as you're not up against a rocket launcher. So that is the heavy machine gun, the Nemesis Star, the brand new exotic in Rise of Iron. A gun that can be very useful in certain situations, and it allows you to use it how you want. Overall, I would definitely use this in both PvE and PvP. I had a lot more fun using this in PvP than I did in PvE. Now with new weapons like Galahorn coming back, and some of the previous rocket launchers and things we've seen, but I would recommend giving this a try. Finally, I will say the design of this weapon is actually really cool, one of the better of the 3 heavy machine gun exotics, and the thing I like most about this gun is the sight. It's a very clean sight, a sight that allows you to see your enemies fairly easily and works well at both close and far range. So let me know if you have got the Nemesis Star, if you've used it and what you think of it. If you haven't got it, are you going to try and get it and use it? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear. Of course, if you guys missed my previous video, you can click the image on screen or the link in the description below. Feel free to give the like button a big old hug, subscribe for more Destiny Rise of Iron content and coverage. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.